Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy, sometimes Mouse, and I talk about books and book-related things, and today I am talking about my 2022 goals and then my goals for 2023. The last couple of times I've done these videos, I've tried to have them pretty chill, hanging out kind of vibes rather than my like full setup video situation, which is kind of what I was going for today, which is the lack of makeup. We're just hanging out, we're chilling. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. If you do enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share. If you don't enjoy this video, you can let me know in the comments down below how I can make it better for you later on. I know normally I say those things at the end, but I'm gonna give it a go at saying them at the beginning, so you can skip this spiel or listen, whatever you want. But I'm going to talk about my goals from 2022, what I successfully did, what I failed to do, and what my new plans are. They are set by section, so we've got spending, reviewing, health, reading, social media, that kind of thing. They all have separate goals, so I am going to talk about them in those sections and we'll go from there. So first up, we've got reading specific goals, which makes sense. This is a reading channel. My goals for 2022 was to read more adult, which I was able to do. I successfully read more adult books than young adult books. And as I progressively read more adult books rather than young adult books, I found myself enjoying young adult books even less. So I guess that worked out. Branch out in genres a little was one of my goals. And I would say that I've done that. I read more romance than I expected to, for one, and for two, I've read a ton of nonfiction this year. While a lot of it was focused on abolitionism, I think that it was good and that I needed that shift in perspective and shift in reading. I enjoy nonfiction books, and I think I kind of forgot that, so I'm glad that I am returning to that and developing myself and developing my learning and my growth. I wanted to limit myself to reading 2 books a day or 2 books at a time, because I was reading 3 to 4 books at a time last year, and it was causing me to finish a ton of books, but my memory is not the greatest, and it's not getting any better as I get older and go through more life things that cause me to have memory loss. Trauma, I'm talking about trauma. So I wanted to read fewer books at a time so that I could give more attention and more focus to those individual books. There are times where I'm bored with the books that I'm reading and I still want to read another book, but I would say that for the most part I achieved this and I did it pretty well. I think that I have done well with not overwhelming myself with my TBR expectations and just kind of vibing it out, especially these last few months where I've read, 15 books, 12 books, not very many compared to my previous statistics, especially if you look at 2021. And my final goal for 2022 was to finish all ongoing series before starting new ones. And not only is that true, but I've also started reading the previous books and then reading the next book in the series if it's been a while since I've read the previous books. That has helped me enjoy those sequels and enjoy those series a lot more because I remember what's going on and I'm enjoying them still and so on. I think that that's really important since, again, my memory is not the greatest and I read a lot. And so sometimes I might mix details up, especially if they're a series from the same author, or I just need certain details. For example, like with The Final Gambit or The Hawthorne Legacy, whatever that series is called, The Inheritance Games, I don't know, whatever the series is called. Rereading those books gave me insight to certain clues and important pieces that I didn't register the first time I read, and so when I read them again and then got to the 3rd book, they held more weight, which is kind of cool to see it now. So I think that I've done a good job of meeting all of those goals for 2022. I think my reading goals for next year are really, really simple. I want to read more books that make me feel good, rather than what's trending, rather than what is the book everybody's talking about, rather than what's all over TikTok or Instagram or whatever. I think I want to focus on reading what I actually like and truly want to read. I know what genres I like, I know what audiences I like, I know what concepts in books I like, and I'm comfortable branching out of those boxes, but I also just know what I like. And I've done great at reading what I like this year, especially compared to previous years, but I think that I want to, like lately I've been purchasing thriller paperbacks from the grocery store, and I'm having a really fun time just reading those with no real expectations for them to be good. and nobody's talked about most of them. And, you know, I'm having a good time with that. Art and I are both kind of doing that. And it's fun because I read those trashy thrillers for years when I worked at a pharmacy. And I know that that's something that I enjoy and that that's, you know, fun for me. So I want to do more of that. I want reading to keep feeling fun. And it is feeling fun again. It has taken, you know, ebbs and flows of feeling fun, but I feel like I'm finally in a position where I can say that it is feeling fun again, and I want to continue with that. And that really is my only goal, is that I want to continue to enjoy reading and it to continue to be fun, and it not necessarily be about, you know, this is what's trending or this is what will give me content or anything like that. I just want to enjoy reading, and I think that you guys appreciate that more as well when I talk about things that I genuinely am excited about and enjoy. I don't know. For my social media goals for this year, for 2022, my goal was to get monetized, and that was my only goal. And I did hit 1,000 subscribers about a week ago on YouTube, which is really, really exciting. I'm very thrilled about that. Now I just have to get 4K public watch hours in a year, and I think, honestly, I'm at almost 2K. I think that I should be able to get that, not by the end of the year necessarily, but eventually, and, you know, I'll take it, right? You know, for 2023, my goal is still going to be to get monetized. Not to say that I'll ever stop making content whether I get monetized or not. I just think that a little bit of a payout sometimes, every once in a while, would be cool, right? Making $1 is more than I'm making now doing YouTube, right? So it is what it is. For my spending goals, I wanted a limit of 2 book purchases a month, not including book subscriptions, as well as try and purchase from local bookstores rather than Amazon. So for the 2 books, I more or less got that down to the point where I was buying almost no books at all. The exception of that would be the last couple of months, and to be fair, it was like birthdays and anniversaries, and I was sad, so I bought books. Like, it was a lot of different things, so... and I don't know if I would count the grocery store thrillers, because they're like $5 and I just don't really think about them when I pick them up. They bring me joy, so it is what it is. And when it comes to buying from a local bookstore before Amazon, I live 20 minutes away from any bookstores at all, local or otherwise, and I am not the predominant car driver. I don't have the car most of the time, and we're a single car household, which means that I actually kind of have to buy them from Amazon or have them shipped from a local bookstore, which I've done that, but because I moved again, it's difficult to be able to pick up books because I don't live near any bookstores anymore. So, but that is going to be my same limits for next year. I would like to limit my book purchases to 2 books a month. I'd also like to... I've already done this switch, actually, where I switched my Audible to only giving me a credit every other month. This is just a way to, like, try and save money where I can. And I would like to continue doing that, and I'd like to continue to use the library as I normally do. But for 2023, I'm going to have the same limits when it comes to spending money. Like, I really want to limit 1 to 2 books a month and keep it that way. So, for book reviews specifically, I wanted to work on emailing publishers, even though it's scary, and then also I wanted to work on talking about advanced reader copies, more than just a small piece of my wrap-ups and a small tweet when the blog posts. I did not do either of those things. This year has been insanity, and it's mostly because I am planning this reception, and it is taking all of my spoons with communicating with people and figuring things out, and I just did not have it in me to do those things, and so I didn't do them. And I think that that's, you know, we gotta take things as we can. I would like to try and do those things next year. I don't know if I'm going to have the capacity to do them with the way that my life is currently shifting and changing, but I am hoping that I can do this next year and actually take it more seriously. I want to take my book reviewing a little bit more seriously. I think that that also ebbs and flows because it's not a source of income or anything, so it's just kind of things that I'm doing for free and for fun, and so it's hard to take it too seriously. You know, with like Clearursht, I take super seriously because I do make a little bit of an income off of it, not a ton, but a little bit, and there are a lot of people that rely on us for Clearursht or have high expectations from us for Clearursht, and respecting that, I take it a little bit more seriously. It feels like unless I'm on like a book tour or have been in communication with an author about their book specifically, I take reviewing a little less seriously, and I think that I have the potential to take it more seriously and do better, and so I would like to do better. And that's still gonna, like I said, that's gonna be my goal next year. For content specifically, so YouTube really. My goal was to film more recommendation-based videos, which I did not do, and I would like to do that next year. Like, I genuinely want to try and give you guys more recommendation videos. I made TikToks, and that was fun. I want to try and do, like, legitimate ones for YouTube, though, because I think I have decent recommendations, especially when it comes to horror, but I just have a hard time of figuring out when to fit those in and what makes the best, like, scheduling for that. So we'll see, right? I wanted to quit making childhood reread series, which I did successfully. That's done. I wanted to make a book tracking spreadsheet and make content around sharing that. So I did make a Notion tracking board, but Art started making Google Sheets, and I just use Art's now. So, you know, I link them down below, but I don't even use the Notion one anymore. I use Art's Google Sheet, and then I use Obsidian note-taking now. And I have a book tracker through that, and I don't even know how to explain Obsidian to anyone, so, you know. The other goal that I had was I really wanted to think about making a video discussing discussing booktube being problematic or not, and why I originally didn't post it, and what I wanted to post it, and how I wanted an open dialogue about these conversations. But as I tried to script this and tried to plan this video, I recognized that it felt like it wasn't my conversation to be had. Like, it wasn't my conversation to have. I'm not in those audiences. I'm not in those specific categories. Like, when people are talking about booktube and book talk being problematic, I'm generally not one of the creators doing those things, or I'm not one of those, like, I don't even know who those creators are because that's so not in my circle or in my line of sight that I don't have enough education to talk on those things, and even still, I don't have enough education to talk about the layers of privilege and the layers of white privilege. Like, I'm not educated enough to have those conversations in an intelligent enough way that makes me feel comfortable with what I'm saying. And so I decided that I wasn't going to make that video, despite it being something that I felt really strongly about at the time. I just, the more I thought about it, the less I felt like I could do that concept justice, and so I decided not to. My goals for 2023 is definitely around content. Is definitely going to be, you know, making those recommendation videos. Like I said, I want to work on making content that's fun for me, and I know that those recommendation videos would be fun for me, but I'm thinking like making videos around crocheting and what stuff I've crocheted this month or the last 3 months or whatever. I want to include some of that into my content because I think that it is part of my life and part of the things I enjoy, and it's things that I do while I'm reading. So I'm thinking about making more of those kinds of content ideas. Onwards to Clearursht. My goals for 2022 for Clearursht was to bring on a third person to help with the Discord and some of the planning, which I did do. I brought Philip on as a moderator in Discord because I realized I have a really hard time with being confrontational around people who do not use the FAQ. Because it is in the rules that you have to read the FAQ, and you have to, if you ask a question that's on the FAQ, you get a strike, and 3 strikes you're out. I had successfully not needed really to enforce that rule up until the readathon kind of hit a peak this year, and I needed to be able to enforce that rule, and I just didn't have it in me to do it, mostly because I just didn't have the energy to do that. I wanted to do better about posting cross-platform during the readathons. I automated the fuck out of all of that. So Instagram or Buffer updated so that it can do carousels on Instagram, which was super helpful for this. And then I also used a bot that now pulls the tweets and immediately puts them in the Discord. And then I also made the text posts so you can read it just as a text post as scheduled blog posts on my blog. And that saved me a ton of time and a ton of like figuring things out. I set everything up, and I haven't touched Clearursht since I set it up and finished setting it up last month. Everything got set up last month. It is November 14th. It is done. I don't have to think about it right now, which is really great because it means I can think about next year and ways we can improve based on the feedback we're getting now. Because used to it would be like, oh fuck, this didn't get scheduled, or this isn't posting, and I'm having to do this and this and this and this and this, and I'm not having to do that right now, which is really, really helpful and really, really nice. My other goal was to stop doing things last minute, which I did, because having to schedule all of these things to automate, I could not do any of them last minute or it would screw up the automation. My goal for next year is honestly to try and have everything a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more organized, because things are kind of all over the place still. It's getting better, but I never thought that this readathon would get as big as it did, and I, under no circumstances, thought we would be going into 3.5 and year 4. No way could you have told me that I started this in 2020, 2019, 2020, I don't know. You could not have told me that this would start and actually be a thing that I continued to do this long. I would not have believed you. I am somebody who picks up a hobby and drops it like that. I did not think this book stuff was going to be something I would do this long. And again, did not think I would be having a readathon that I would do this long. So here we are, and I'm happy with it. I don't really have a ton of goals for next year, though, for that, other than just streamlining everything. And finally, I had health goals for last year that I talked about with you guys, and partially that is because I have a series where I did like health updates and that kind of thing, so we're trying to figure out why I passed out. And one of my goals was to go get the tilt table test done, which was very nerve-wracking. I did finally go get it done. It was in fact nerve-wracking. I did not pass out, and I did fail. Or passed? I don't know. What they found out was that I have IST, not POTS. POTS is postural or something. It's a long thing, but it basically means that when you're having syncope episodes or passing out or feeling faint, it has to do with your posture changing. So you going from sitting to standing, laying down to sitting up, those kinds of things. I don't have that problem. My heart rate just gets really fast for no reason. I could be sitting here doing nothing, crocheting, listening to a book, sitting pretty still, and not changing my speed, not changing anything, not getting like, it's a lull in the book, nothing exciting is happening, and all of a sudden my heart rate will jump up to 150 for no reason. That's pretty much it, and because my blood pressure doesn't bounce all around the place, it causes me to pass out. We figured it out. All I can do is take beta blockers, and I have to be really careful with those because I can't lower my blood pressure or it will kill me. So we gotta be careful with those, but that's it. We figured it out. Great, awesome, less work for me now. I wanted to finish my dental care. I did most of it. I was just supposed to get braces and continue with getting cleanings, but then I moved, so I haven't done that. Invisalign, not braces. So I haven't done that. I might go do that next year, but for 2023, I don't have any health goals. I'm just trying to exist and get through the day, and I think that, honestly, that's good enough for now. Life is getting a little bit complicated and difficult, and I'll have a video explaining some of those things later. I'm just not ready to do that yet. And as that happens, it's just hard for me to worry too hard about my health other than I'm just going to take care of myself. So that's it. Those are my goals for 2023. I don't have huge ones. And I honestly think that setting goals of like, I just want to enjoy the content I'm making and the books that I'm reading and the things that I'm doing, I think that those are super fair goals. I think that when we set these like super high expectations for ourselves and these obscene goals for ourselves, it's really hard to meet them and to successfully get to those goals and have a good time with it and not get burnt out. I think that it's really hard, especially as life changes after the pandemic and we're going into a recession and things are getting difficult and tricky for people. I think that we have to take the time to step back and remember that we started all of these things for fun and that we should still be having fun with them. And I think that that's really going to be my biggest thing for 2023 is to have fun with what I'm doing. Like, just want to have fun, you know? But that's it. That's my video. Those are my goals for 2023. I really hope I get this video out in time because it's supposed to go out tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So I'm, gonna get off of this and edit it, upload it, and hope nothing goes wrong. But like I said in the beginning, if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, tell me how I can do better. I post videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm very rarely late or miss a day. But sometimes life gets in the way, and that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. I hope to see you guys again later, though. Don't forget to drink your water, take your meds, do something today to take care of yourselves and make sure that you have fun. I think that's it. Okay, thanks, bye.